Welcome to Creepy and Geeky. I'm your host, Robert, and today my kids Harrison and Katrina are back for our annual holiday horror episode. Welcome back to the show, guys.
I'm happy to be
Mm.
back.
You didn't really say anything, Katrina's just like, so I was like, what?
No, no.
It got buried by Harrison's, though. That's what I was saying. Anyway.
Um,
All right. Well, it's good to have you guys back. Katrina's been back off and on. Harrison, you haven't been able to be back for quite a while, so it's good to have you back. We always
Hmm.
do these holiday horror episodes. I'm going to actually link all of the previous ones in the show notes for this one as well. So if anybody's interested, they can go back and listen to all the other ones. Because this year we are talking about the new Silent Night, Deadly Night remake. We previously talked about all the original first five Silent Night, Deadly Nights and the 2012 remake as well. So we've covered this whole franchise like in depth. So we are covering this new one. It just came out. And I had a lot of fun with this one. I was actually very pleasantly surprised. I was excited from the trailers that it looked like it was going to be decent. So I had my hopes up, but I was cautiously optimistic just because uh, these movies have not been good. Even the 2012 remake was better than the original ones, but it wasn't as good as this new one was. So, what did you guys think? Harrison first.
Like just overall thoughts?
Yeah, just overall thoughts.
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good entry into the series. I mean, it's holiday horror, so you're kind of having to work within that framework, but I feel like there was good ideas inside of this one. And I mean, it was campy and
Yeah,
there was some parts where I was like, okay. But it wasn't like it didn't compromise the movie because the bar has been set so low that it hasn't
right,
compromised the franchise.
right. And we'll get into that a little bit. But what about you, Katrina?
I didn't like the other movies, and so I went into this expecting trash, but I was actually pleasantly surprised by it. And I refuse to watch the other movies just on principle. They're just that bad. But I would watch this one again.
Yeah. No, I mean, even though I own the first five, like I will probably rarely ever, if ever, watch them again. I think the last time I've ever watched any of them was for the show. But I would definitely rewatch this new one because it was a lot of fun. It took to me, it took the basic premise of the first one and changed it in just enough ways to make it more fun and interesting and to um and with even still having some of the slight nods that it had to the originals. And that was a lot of fun. So I like that they did a couple of nods here and there, but they weren't slavish to it. They didn't they didn't poke fun at it completely, and they didn't steer real hard into being the same way. Um, but like other than like the 2012 remake, it didn't go wildly off topic. Like because 2012 was just like Killer Santa. That's all it did, and it didn't have anything in common with the originals. Other than that, just a Killer Santa. So this one was a lot of fun because it was like, okay, well, we're gonna have the Killer Santa. We're still gonna have it where his parents get killed and all of this and how it messed him up, but it did it in such a unique way to the franchise anyway. That I really appreciated that. And it was funny though too, because Katrina, she kept when we went into the theater, um, because it was the theater she works at, and some of the people were asking what we were going to watch, and we said Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Katrina was just like, "Yeah, but I'm not hopeful for it." So it was really funny just that she kept, her expectations were really, really low. So,
Hmm.
but thankfully they were met,
The
and,
bar
and
was
ex
high.
see, the bar was under the ground for her. So,
All right, well,
um,
I'm looking forward to talking about Ghost Rider Santa Claus.
Ghost Rider. Okay.
because that's what I got from this movie.
I guess it's interesting. So let's kind of get into it. Like, so the mechanism of all this is that, this version of Billy has what appears to be the previous person who occupied that, which is the person who killed his parents. Um, uh, their his spirit passed on into Billy and has now been like teaching Billy and guiding Billy this whole time into the murders that he's been committing this whole time. And it was interesting too because I thought that everything about that was interesting. It was a lot of fun and very cool in how they did it. So it wasn't just somebody who'd gone psycho. I didn't see it as like Ghost Rider, so kind of like Venom in a way too. So but that is
Yeah.
funny. Ghost Rider kind of fits as
I
well. So
I thought of it like in the Santa Claus movies where Tim Allen like finds the old Santa who fell
right,
off of
yeah.
his roof and then it gets passed on to him. Like that's
Yeah.
how I took it almost. It was like, why is this like kind of just like cursed the Santa?
That's a very different fine print though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So to clarify to the audience, if you have not seen the movie, because even as do I refer to you as Dad or Robert on the podcast?
You
Like
can refer
I
to me
feel
as
like most
dad.
people refer to you as Robert.
Sure,
Um,
but I'm your dad, so it would be weird if you referred to me
so
as
in any
Robert.
case, so yes, so Billy watches his parents get shotgunned down the way that he's always seen them done.
Right.
And so we get a nice callback to the original movie in that way. But it turns out that the spirit of Christmas was looking over him the entire time. And the spirit of Christmas was within the janitor's body at the local nursing home. And
Well,
uh,
let's not get into the spoilers fully just yet, but but that I mean that part was kind of obvious
It
anyway.
is pretty
So,
obvious. It's right at the beginning
yeah.
of the movie.
Yeah.
And so then the spirit passes on from the janitor into Billy, and then we now have an understanding that Billy is uh ostensibly committing these murders with the premise that Santa has his naughty list
Yeah.
and is able to detect naughty people and
Right.
then act accordingly.
Right. So it's not just arbitrary who Billy believes is naughty. Billy actually kind of fights against it in some ways. Like he doesn't want, like, because he rolls up in this new town. You see, there's like he's escaping one area and he rolls up into this new town. He obviously travels from town to town to town. And every Christmas, like holiday time, he's got this advent calendar that he literally like takes the person's blood and like smears a little blood on each day, like for whatever day, and he's got to kill one person per day to fulfill some kind of Christmas obligation for this.
Some kind of pact in which
Yeah,
if he does not, somebody innocent
somebody
dies.
innocent dies. Yeah, and so he's got to punish the guilty and the evil and or somebody innocent. But
Ghost Rider Santa Claus.
um, sure. But he but yeah, it's just I don't know. I thought that was a really good mechanism, a really good way into it. You're not given like a whole lot. Like he rolls into this town and he kind of falls in love with this woman who works at her dad's holiday shop and starts working there and they become friends and everything. And he sees a kindred spirit in a way. And I think that's interesting too because the guy, the spirit inside him, who's Charlie, whose name is Charlie, is trying to tell him like, hey, we still got to do this stuff. You don't want to stay here too long. People will get suspicious. Blah blah blah. You need to, we still got to kill people. You can't just not kill people just because you're, you know, having some peace here. And so I thought again, I thought all of this was very interesting, a nice little mechanism for like the overall story. Because it sets up complications and it, sets him up nicely. You're not sure in the beginning whether he's just insane or if this spirit is really inside of him. Um,
Yeah, they leave it a little open to interpretation for a while, and then
yeah,
as it progresses, it becomes more obvious that
right.
that's not the case. But again,
Because they
that's
tell
going
us what
into
happens when
spoiler
he's a kid.
territory.
What'd you say,
Um,
Katrina?
Because they end up telling us what happens when he's a kid because they cut off that scene after like his parents get shot and then
Yeah.
that's it. And then it's not until like
there's a lot of
the last act of the
implications in the beginning of
movie
the movie that are not the most subtle. Like I think
Yeah.
that if you're paying attention, you can pick up on what
Yeah, you
it's
can pick
trying
up most of
to
it. Yeah.
say.
Well, and they
And
go back,
then,
they do flashbacks once in a while to kind of fill in the little gap, here and there and stuff, which is nice.
yeah.
It's not a linear story like the first Silent Night, Deadly Night is, where you see him as a kid and then he grows up and then he becomes an adult and then, all that stuff. And so, there's you get some backstory fill-ins here and there, but it mostly stays with him as an adult, um, which I thought was really good. I like that it like filled in the backstory when it needed to. Um,
Hmm.
and I thought it was interesting too because the main actor in this is the guy who was in Halloween Ends. Um, so the guy who took over Michael's um job in a way in that movie. Um, and then
Gotta make a killing.
right, he's becoming Rohan Campbell. I don't know if that's exactly how you pronounce his name. But that's the actor's name. He's just chopping it up in all of the holidays now, Halloween, Christmas, you
he
know.
needs to get out of the Halloween franchise.
Katrina hates Halloween Ends, by the way.
It's such a stupid end.
Okay. We're not going to get into that right now.
I already vented
Anyway,
about it on a different episode, which you can
yes,
listen to from this
you
podcast.
you can. But his love interest is Ruby Modine, who is no stranger to horror movies. Also, she was previously in the first Happy Death Day movie. Well, I think she's in both of the Happy Death Day movies. Um, but yeah, so she's no stranger to it. And her dad is Matthew Modine, who plays Dr. Brenner on Stranger Things. So, um, so I thought that was interesting. So, but Harrison, why don't you
Yeah.
give us some more thoughts and maybe you have something specific you want to say about the movie?
Yeah. So are we heading into spoiler territory?
I mean, I think we can. Well, no, let's not just yet. Okay, so real quick, let me get into like one of the like pretty much the best scene of the movie, real quick. And this is pre-spoiler, like pre-spoiler and everything, is that there is a he's so he goes with Ruby Modine's characters uh to a her what is it, her nephew, I think.
Yeah,
Um
nephew's hockey
her
game.
nephew's hockey game, and there he's introduced to this woman who he's Charlie says something about her being naughty or something like that. There's some insinuation there, but it's not super well. Uh,
Can I really quickly say something
sure.
actually on just the whole naughty thing? There was not enough usage of the word naughty inside of this movie. That was one thing that I actually was kind of disappointed on was that like I feel like we got maybe like three or four naughties, like not or maybe not even that, like maybe even only two. And I don't know, like I feel like it's part of the character. And like even if he didn't say it, like if Charlie
Yeah.
said it, like I feel like because we get a whole lot of like I'm getting this feeling again or and it's
Yeah.
like okay but what's the feeling like is it the
Yeah.
naughty list like
Yeah.
like tell me they're naughty like Like I'm watching a Christmas movie. Like
Yeah.
I need to hear the words.
Well, I mean, I think they were just trying not to overdo it too much. I think that was more it than anything else. But then I think, but the another part of this scene was that the nephew ends up getting picked on by these two kids, and nobody's paying attention to it. And so, Ruby Bundine's character Pam, she goes and like wails on those kids, um, and just loses it on them, which obviously endears her to Billy a little bit because he's like, oh, she's wackadoodle too. So,
Not just
um,
that, she is taking care of some naughty children.
yeah,
And so
exactly.
he's on board with punishing the naughty.
Right.
And
But
there's actually a little bit of a moment afterward where it says that even the parents were like, "No, that's cool.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool that
yeah,
that she beat them up." And I'm
yeah.
like, "Oh, okay, cool." Man,
I mean, fair though. I mean, if your
people
kids
who
are
live
being
in the fictional
assholes,
town of Hackett have a different
yeah.
parenting style.
But yeah, so later that night he goes to go follow that woman to this party that she's having, this holiday party that they're having, and he gets into this it's really bizarre too, because like he gets up there and he's got to be patted down, and there's weapons on the wall outside, and it's like, okay, what kind of fucking party is this? And then he goes inside, and it's a Nazi party. So, and it was just like, what the shit, man? And I had already heard about this beforehand, because it's hard to, even though I'm not on social media very much, even got that tiny bit got spoiled for me, that there was some kind of big Nazi killing bit. But it was probably the best sequence in the movie, just watching him just rip through everybody. It was a lot of fun for sure. So, but
Yeah,
go ahead.
I it's interesting because that scene that scene equally was engaging just from a like set piece, but it also
Yeah.
kind of lost me in terms of the like
Okay.
it felt like a derailment in terms of the plot. Because even in terms of the overarching plot, it honestly had nothing to do with it. It was kind of just this
Well, he
interlude
was going there to
where
punish her for being naughty. That was the main
yeah,
reason for
but
him
I
to
mean,
be there.
as we know later on, there's a bunch of people that they kill as part of this Christmas killing spree that are actually all interconnected that we discover. Whereas these people that
Right.
were at this party had nothing to do with it.
Sure, but
And so
I don't think that's the thing, that he's not trying to like
I'm
necessarily
saying
like
from a plot writing perspective that it felt like a derailment. That's all it was for me. Like it was a fine scene, like it, and again, it's a campy franchise. It's just
right.
that was the campiest part to me of this movie was that it was like the things they didn't do in this movie that I felt would have been more on brand for the franchise, they didn't do. And then they inserted that as their camp for the movie.
Well,
And
and I
so
think but I think also this is kind of what makes this movie better in a way too, because they're not leaning too much into the original. Like they're leaning just enough into it without like being too far apart, but like not being
yeah,
completely slavish to
I'm
it
not
either.
saying it is
Yeah.
is a bad thing.
Right.
It didn't take me out of the movie. Again, it's a Silent Night, Deadly Night. I wasn't looking to see cinema. But I came in and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's this is a scene."
What did you think, Katrina?
Um, I like any movie that has a whole scene dedicated to killing Nazis, gotta admit. So I didn't mind it. I didn't mind
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it was fine. Like
Yeah.
the original movies didn't do well, and so like catering too much to people who like love the originals and like going way
Yeah.
too much into using all of the quotes and almost to the point of overusing it, like would be a little much. Like I think they might have said naughty like two or three times in the
Yeah.
entire movie. I got the point. I got the point. Yeah, people are naughty. But that's also like inherently like Christmas is that we understand that there's nice
Right.
people and naughty people. And so like putting it into context of the movie about they kill the naughty people. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I didn't need it to be oversaid. Like
Right.
the whole thing about I'm getting that feeling again, or like whatever the fuck is like he's trying to tell Billy, like, look around, like there's somebody
Yeah.
who's ready that
Yeah.
you can kill. He's trying to help Billy by making it so that he doesn't end up having an innocent person die by
Yeah.
trying to get him to look at the fucking cop, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also like
Yeah.
movie that kills a cop. Whoa, like great. Like not to
Well,
say that like all like I'm not gonna go into that,
yeah.
but like it's there were parts of the movie that were justified. Like that
Yeah.
cop was a fucking bastard.
Well,
Like he deserved it. And
I
Billy was
think,
like
yeah.
doing what he could to protect the girl and didn't pay attention to any of that, which led to him getting rocked at the end.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's ultimately what ended up happening is because Billy was so focused on Pam. Sorry, I was trying to fix something on my microphone and it unplugged it. I was like, wait a minute. I think Billy was so focused on Pam that, like you said, Katrina, he was like, I'm getting that feeling again. You need to pay attention to these things, look around, and he kept not looking at the cop. And if he had looked at the cop earlier, that would have clued him into what was going on that was, with the what is it, the snatcher? Yeah, the snatcher.
Yeah.
Because
And
the thing
so
about Charlie is he can only help him
if
if
he
Billy
sees it,
sees him.
yeah,
So that's why he's
Hmm.
like, I have this feeling because he needs
he
you
can
to
feel
look.
it. He can
Yeah.
feel it, but he can't. He
He
can
needs him
sense
to
the evil
look so that he
nearby, but he
can
can't
give you
see
the
it.
like
Yeah,
address and the job and like whatever the fuck else that Billy
yeah,
would need to go and find them to murder
yeah,
them. So
yeah. So
So really quickly,
yeah,
because you like if we're talking about our favorite scenes and if that's your favorite scene, my favorite scene is actually the dressing up as Santa Claus and having the kids sit on his lap. That's my favorite scene. My
right.
favorite scene is where Billy has to act as Santa and and is inside of his killer outfit and is having to not slice children's throats with a box cutter
Well, I don't
out
even
of
think it
out
was. I
of
don't even think he was going
pure.
to kill the children. It was just like it was so like such an inherent thing that
No, he
got
only dons
like
the
he
suit when he's ready to
right.
kill somebody. And so
Yeah,
he put on the suit and he's like, all right, who am I gonna kill? And like there's
yeah,
nobody to kill around him.
yeah,
And so no, that's my favorite part
I
was
don't think
it was
the
Charlie whispering in his ear. He was like, don't do it.
yeah.
I
Don't
don't
don't do it
think
in front of all
the
these kids.
killing the Nazi scene was my favorite. Honestly, my favorite scene was probably her beating up the kid on the hockey rink.
Well, it's just because you like hockey, but yeah,
Yeah, and those kids were being assholes. Like,
yeah.
so that was probably my favorite. Like, I love a woman with no inhibition, you know? Like, beat those fucking kids up and get
Yeah.
no repercussions for it because you're a baddie. Like, yeah. I know this whole
Well,
movie was just me rallying for some of the characters. They just get rocked and
well,
get punished and because they're naughty. Like, maybe I'm
yeah.
Billy. Oh, what? Who said that? Just kidding.
Well, and then but that was the thing that was interesting too, is like he had multiple chances of seeing this cop throughout the whole movie that if he had finally looked at him, then Charlie would have been able to say, "Hey, that's somebody we need to take care of." But because one, he wasn't looking at him, and two, because he was choosing to spend time with Pam and not uh, do his duty of punishing the naughty, he ended up somebody innocent died, and that ended up being Pam's dad, who ends up getting shot by the
The
Snatcher,
Snatcher. Yeah.
which was horrible. It's just like you knew it was going to happen, but you're just like, oh man, come on, like not the dad.
No,
The dad's so nice.
in terms of the entire movie, that's probably the most visceral scene. Like
Yeah,
even with all of the other killing, like it's the most real scene,
yeah,
I think, in the movie. But
yeah.
I see a hand raised.
No,
Can you?
she's just
I was
saying because
pretending
after
to be
he
the
shoots him,
snatcher
she turns
waving at the
around and
camera.
yeah, waves
Oh,
at the
yes,
camera.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the Snatcher does that in the movie.
Yeah.
Being
So,
like freak.
so yeah, it's that for me is like the most visceral scene
Yeah.
because I mean they really make you feel the consequences. They make you realize the
Yeah.
consequences of what that is. Um, yeah, there's the movie. I like I said, I think that the movie is very good at what it does in terms of setting up the theme of the like Christmas killing spree being this like act of good around the
Yeah.
season to like take out these naughty people. And then beyond that, and they also do a really good balance of like in the beginning of the movie, they make it seem like Billy's killing more out of like a selfish desire rather than killing out of a selfless
Right.
desire.
Yeah.
And then it reveals it over time because one of the first kills we see after he reaches Hackett and meets Pam is this person where it seems like it's almost like a jealousy murder.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it turns out it's not. And
Yeah.
we learn that.
Yeah.
And I think that the movie does that very well in terms of like actually subverting our expectation about like taking
Yeah.
the old Billy and like if you're somebody who knows the Silent Night Deadly Night franchise, taking that, twisting it, and then kind of having fun with the idea of like the Santa knows who's on the naughty list and punishing them accordingly.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that, what they did was really good. I think everything they did, and like you said, with subverting the expectations on, you think that he's probably just insane this whole time
Hmm.
and that nothing's going to happen, but then something does happen, and then you start getting the reveals and stuff like that Charlie is something inside of him. There is a spirit inside of him, and that this spirit knows things about these people. As soon as he can see them, then he can see everything that's good or bad about them. Or I guess sees just the bad about them. And you find out that that's like these people are really like it really is terrible because you find out, like you said, the one guy that you think is a jealousy thing is this guy that seems kind of like a pervy old man.
Yeah.
And that his wife uh went missing or something like that, left him or something, just randomly, however long ago it was. But then you find out that he actually murdered his wife.
And
Because when
not
they
just
find the body.
that, he was the Santa every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
So, I
yeah,
mean, like, it's like he was having kids sit on his lap and he's this murderer. And so,
yeah.
I mean, it's this.
Which is like Billy is the perfect fit
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
him.
they
It's a
already had
perfect
a murder
replacement.
Santa.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, so it's interesting because they do that. They make you think he's just crazy. Like, if you've already seen these movies, you just know that Billy was, had gone crazy from all the trauma in his life. But then to find out that, you know, no, he's actually getting information from this Charlie person. That's the reason why Charlie originally killed his parents, is because his parents murdered his grandfather. So
yeah.
that
Which there's
was what's,
clues in the first few scenes
yeah,
to kind of give you an impression of that.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
And I
But
think that
it's,
they do that very well because it honestly very much mimics that like feeling of being a kid in the backseat of a car and hearing your parents talk about something in like hushed
yeah,
tones and like not quite the full words, but like even as
right.
a kid, you're like,
Something's going on.
I
Yeah,
don't know it.
something.
I don't know what mom and dad just did, but I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, a neat little piece of trivia before we start wrapping this up, but a nice little piece of trivia for this is the guy who played Charlie the janitor was the guy who played the mailroom guy in Elf that
Mm,
a buddy befriends in the mailroom.
nice.
So I thought that was a lot of fun. So more Christmas connections, more holiday connections. Um,
And if anybody is concerned, we do get a garbage day.
do we do get a garbage day reference?
And it's
It's
actually
not,
very well handled.
no,
It's
it
very
is.
well handled.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Yeah. It's definitely not as cheesy as the original.
Garbage Day.
Also, there's kind of like shots fired at the second movie in a way.
Oh yeah? How do you How do you mean?
Because um I don't remember exactly what he says in the movie because it's been a while since I've seen it, but when he's at the Nazi party and Charlie's like, "Oh, you should maybe grab a gun." He says something about like guns are for
Oh,
cowards or like guns are for
It's like
something.
guns are
And
for pansies or something.
yeah, like I
yeah,
no, I
yeah,
think it was like guns for or for pussies or something like that.
yeah, yeah,
And to me, I'm like, that's kind of shots fired to the second Silent Night, Deadly Night
I mean,
because I
not
mean,
shots fired because he was
because
in the need of a
his
gun.
because his killing spree in that movie is
too
all
dumb,
done with a
Katrina.
gun. So yeah,
Good
Right.
I'm
points.
like, I don't know if that was their intention, but they kind of were like, oh, that movie
Yeah.
sucked.
Maybe. I don't know. But I did like the little homages to everything they had. That they did another woman got impaled on antlers, and
His main
um
weapon's an axe.
yeah, his main weapon's an axe. When the woman that he's trying to get that leads him to the Nazi party,
Yeah.
she's escaping on a snowmobile, and he comes out and chops her head off. Very
Hmm.
similar to the snow sled scene in the first movie. So there's definitely a lot of nods. If you're even remotely aware of the first one and you've seen it, and you enjoy it, I think you'd enjoy this one. So it is a lot of fun for that. But he does they do I don't remember how it is that they figure out where to go to find the snatcher. They're trying to get this one kid that they know of back.
Oh,
Well,
you don't remember how they do it?
I don't remember how they figured it out.
So the first kill that we see Billy as an adult doing is he kills a guy inside of a hotel room that
Well,
has
no, I remember
the
that one. Yeah.
tree company on it. And then what he then finds out later on is, oh gosh, I'm starting to lose my memory on that too.
The guy who
But
owns the
eventually,
tree company, the guy who went with the like sheriff or whatever, or like it's like the cop is with somebody at the beginning, and then that somebody is the snatcher. And because he already saw him, he was like, "Oh, put two and two together, go there."
yeah, there was some kind of triggering like event in which he saw that um tree company's logo again, and then
Right.
that's how he knew where to go.
All right. But yeah,
Oh
so
my gosh, really quickly,
yeah.
the like kidnappers trapdoor ball pit, sinister as hell.
Yeah.
I thought that that
That
was
was creepy. That was
amazingly creepy and
yeah.
sinister. I hated that. Like it was truly like that part was actually terrifying.
Yeah. Well, I do think it's interesting too because on the way, let's back up just a second. But on the way to this place where they find the kids and everything, where the ball pit is, they Billy reveals to Pam that he can that this is what's been happening to him, and that he can and that he's been doing this for years, and basically tells his whole backstory, and she accepts it. She's just like, okay, this sounds crazy, but you know what, you've been nice to me, and obviously, whatever you're doing is at least seems good. Seems like you're only punishing naughty people. So and he's helping her get her vengeance on the guy who killed her dad. So
Yeah, I think that was if I'm gonna like justify
oh,
it in
that's
my
the main thing.
brain,
Yeah.
that's the main thing is that he's letting her have like even if he's batshit, then
Yeah.
even if he can get her closer to getting revenge for her dad, I think that's all
Yeah.
she cared about.
Yeah. So they get there, they find the ball pit underneath the office, and yeah, it's just
Ah,
what's up, Katrina? What was up,
I
Katrina?
don't like the ball pit just for
it
some.
was
No,
creepy
the ball
vibes.
pit is
It
because it's
was
dark, and then like the kids are buried just up to their
I
face in there and
know
everything like that.
it
Like
was
you could
not
barely see the
okay.
kids. Yeah, no, it was great because then the snatcher comes out of the ball pit like behind them, and you're just like, oh man, that's messed up.
Just as a reminder, this is the same movie that has a scene of a killer Santa killing a bunch of Nazis in a like Kingsman style fashion, and then we get creepy, terrifying ball pit with Snatcher in the corner.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
Oh man, it was great because it was so terrible and creepy. It was
Well, and
it
I
was
like the
so
power
good.
adjustment. I really liked the power adjustment at the end of the movie where it took Billy from a place of power where we literally did see him kill an entire room full of people that were shooting guns at
Yeah.
him to now we're kind of not sure if he's going to get out of this alive.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I really like that. I like that they were able to flip that on, at least for me, like as an audience, and be like actually invested in what they were doing. And
Right.
so, I mean, making Billy into more of a like anti-hero was absolutely a
Right.
very interesting
Well, I don't
idea.
even think it's making him into an anti-hero. I think that ultimately, when you by the end of the movie, you understand that Billy has absolutely been killing people who deserved it.
Hmm.
And like nobody that he's killed was just mildly guilty of something. It is has to be something heinous,
Yeah, yeah.
murder, something else like that.
And he didn't even
And
start
so
doing it until he was an adult.
yeah,
So
exactly.
Hmm.
And so he, all of this is justified in a way. Like I mean, murder's never justified, obviously, but we're talking about a movie. So
Hmm.
in the movie scape,
That's why I said anti-hero.
well, but this is what I'm saying. Even still, I think he is a hero in the broadest sense of the word because not only does he is he yes, he's murdering these people, but he's taking these people away from hurting anybody else. And then especially with saving these kids, and so that's what's great is because you find out because he gets um what is it? He gets does he see the snatcher's face and then he gets all the visions, or is it once he sees the cop finally that he gets the visions of
No, so
what?
he just has to see the Snatcher in the mask, and
Okay.
that lets him know everything he needs.
Okay.
yeah, he's
So at
watching
that
like the security camera footage and then he
right,
sees
right,
it
okay.
and then he puts the two and two together with the tree
Yeah.
thing and all
Which is
that.
a great moment. I love the whole like him
They're
asking
connecting it all the
Charlie
way back to
that
the beginning.
well no, just the moment where like he looks at the security camera footage on the computer and Billy just says got him, and then Charlie in his gruff voice is like got him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I just thought it was a cool moment. Like it was like
Yeah.
it was great, especially like after like I said, like, it being kind of the most visceral killing of the movie is the very quick killing of Pam's dad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
So I mean, I like all that, and then you find out, that Max the cop is a piece of shit as well, which you already knew because he had hit Pam. Um,
and sexually
um,
assaulted her.
yeah, and so there's like he already has this obvious history of being a shitty person, but then also to be tied in with the whole snatcher thing and everything else was just mm, worse, obviously. But was it? So Billy's dying. Billy gets stabbed real bad and is dying. He ends up like running out, but gets shot by Max, the cop, and then he's laying there, and then he tells Pam to grab his hand and transfers his his now spirit into her, and he has to let Charlie go basically so that he can do that. So Um, and then it's after that's when Pam kills Max, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And then that's when she
Bites
hears,
his nose off.
yeah, oh, right. And then she hears Billy's voice inside her head. So,
Hmm.
and now that he's passed on to her, and sequel, let's hope, because I thought that was pretty good. And I look, I'm okay with this being a one and done. If they don't ever do a sequel to this is a perfect one and done. I'm
Yeah, I
good.
think it's good as a one and
I'm
done.
good as a one and done. If they want to make a sequel, I'd be up for a sequel too, because it'd be cool to have like a female,
Yeah.
Santa serial killer type person like that. That'd be fun. Because we've already set the
Mrs.
lore. No.
Claus.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, Mrs. Claus. Um,
For the audience at home, my dad did a tiger claw like motion.
yes, I did.
Well, before
Um,
I don't know how when we're gonna because we just kind of hit the end of the movie, but
yes.
I kind of want to also hit some like design elements that I really
Yeah,
liked.
absolutely.
So did anybody notice the advent calendar and the details on the advent calendar? Because I did.
Mm,
You mean the
So
thing that he was putting his stuff into?
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So the tree on the front of it, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the ornaments were hanging bodies.
yeah,
Oh,
Um,
I did not
I
notice
saw
that. That's
that.
funny.
yeah. So they were all hanging bodies, and then obviously this advent calendar has been used for quite a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And there's it's interesting. I don't need a whole lot of lore on the advent calendar, but I do think it presents an interesting implication that of how old this advent calendar is, and if it's
Hmm.
something that is like kind of Necronomicon kind of levels of like been around since like thousands of years of Santa
Can you
Claus
just imagine
murderers.
how bad that thing smells?
Oh
Oh,
man.
God, right?
Yeah.
It's just nasty.
Um but no, I really like the advent calendar. I really enjoy the idea of one company that makes Santa Claus costumes just like making bank off of Billy.
Right?
Because he's ordering new outfits for every murder. Um
Well, I mean, it's just for the 24 days of the advent calendar. So, he's going to buy
He
24
really
a
should be
year.
buying them in the summer because they'll be cheaper.
I know,
And
I
just
know.
and then just like
I'm
hoarding them
telling you, this
until
company's
Christmas.
making so much money off of Billy.
Well, it's because he
Stop
moves
being that
around so
smart about
often.
it.
He can't just keep a whole bunch of costumes on hand.
I
So,
mean, he could. He just doesn't want to.
And then um I like I yeah, I just I like the progressiveness of his journey as a murder Santa. Like him like we get to see the origin of his axe and
right,
everything and all that. And so it's nice because we don't really get to see his like Billy style door to door massacre inside of
right,
this movie, but we kind of do in like flashback mode where we kind of see how he developed his killing style as he's explaining it to Pam in the car.
right.
And so that's something nice toward the end of the movie is we kind of get that backstory on Billy.
Yeah,
And so no, I think I really liked it. It was a good
I
movie.
did too.
Like of the Silent Night, Deadly Night canon, it was good. It's not going to be cinema. If you go in expecting it to be cinema, it's not going to be cinema.
Well,
But it was good. It was a good watch. If you were going in for a fun Murder Santa romp, it was fun.
I think it could get an Oscar.
I mean, I doubt it will, but
Best
I thought,
writing.
listen, I thought this was so good. This is definitely in my top 10, of the year, which I will be covering next week.
I
But
thought you said it
you know,
wasn't going to.
no, I told you it was. Yeah. No,
Never mind.
it's definitely in my top 10 of the year. Um, so it's for me because it does the thing that I like best. It's a darkly like a darkly black comedy horror film. And those really hit me really well when they work well. And there's been a few this year that have worked really well in that, which has been fantastic. But I think this is my favorite of the entire franchise that's ever been for the Silent Night, Deadly Nights. I think that it took what worked for the original and twisted it just enough to make it actually work. The first one has a lot of fans and stuff like that because it is kind of terrible. It's one of those movies you watch kind of like with the group, and so you can kind of make fun of it. This one's not one that I don't feel like you would watch and make fun of. You would watch and enjoy this one more than um, any of the others, for sure. So,
Yeah, this
um,
one isn't a like so bad it's good
yeah,
kind of movie. It's genuinely good. I just actually looked up the reviews online. So based on a simple Google search, it says 77%. I think that is honestly not the worst.
It's average.
Yeah, I
It
would
No,
is.
say
77 is pretty good. It's
I would say 77 is kind of what I would say it is. I think that it's probably like a low B.
yeah.
And so not in a bad way. Like it is a good movie. And so I
For
it's
me, it
definitely worth
got
a
four
watch.
stars. So 4 out of 5 stars. So
Which I would say is like a low B. Yeah, I'd
yeah,
say
I
that
mean,
like on a 5 star
it's a
scale, four
high
stars is
B,
a
high
B.
B for me. So
Yeah. So,
but
but yeah, I mean it's I don't know if there's half stars. I don't do this.
there are half stars.
I don't
Yeah.
do letterbox. But yeah, no, it was good. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it.
Any final thoughts from you, Katrina, before we head out?
I liked it. I was very surprised by the quality of the writing and storytelling and like all the mechanics and everything of it. I felt engaged throughout the whole thing, um, which is not something that I can say for even some movies I watched this year. And so, like, I don't know, it was good. And if you like horror comedies that are also Christmas-y, then go watch it.
Yep.
Furia, if you
All
need some holiday cheer,
and if you like horror movies for your holiday cheer, then yes,
then
this
you
one's
should go
up.
watch Silent Night, Deadly Night.
If you like
Definitely.
watching Nightmare Before Christmas during Christmas, go watch it.
Okay.
I don't know
Just
if
saying.
there's
I
too
feel
much
like the
cross
Venn
section,
diagram
but
of people who would like Nightmare Before Christmas and people who would like Silent Night, Deadly Night is a Venn diagram, like not a circle, but there's
true.
people in the middle.
There's a, there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, there's for sure overlap. Yeah, definitely not a circle, but yeah. So,
Like one's a
uh,
kids movie, one's a
yeah, exactly.
Oh man. Oh,
kids killing
those
movie.
are fighting words for some people.
Yeah.
So be
What,
careful.
Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah. I've known plenty of adults that believe that that is not a kids movie.
That's weird.
Not in a like
There's plenty of
I'm
Like
animated
it's
saying
in
it
a
as
movies.
like it's
like
inappropriate for
yeah,
kids.
it's like
It's
it's
just
inappropriate for adults.
yeah.
What?
It's like if
No,
you're like
kids.
if
It's not inappropriate for kids in that way that they're trying to say it's an adult cartoon. It's a it's a cartoon with adult sensibilities that isn't really geared for children. I get what you're saying, Harrison.
we
Um,
have derailed.
I mean,
it's a tangent.
I think that like Nightmare Before Christmas would be on the same level of K-pop Demon Hunters, where it's like anybody can
Yeah,
enjoy the movie. However, a
adults
lot of
enjoy
those
it more.
animated movies and things like that are enjoyed by children.
We say all this because my 4-year-old grandson is a huge fan of Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's
So,
basically what I'm saying about it. Like, sure, a lot of adults like Nightmare Before Christmas, but when did all of them watch it? When they were like 10. Like, I watched Nightmare Before Christmas and loved it when I was 10.
yeah.
That's why it's like,
All
hmm.
right. Anyway, all that aside, if you enjoyed, I think if you enjoyed the first, I let's see now I'm all befuddled. If you enjoyed the first Silent Night, Deadly Night movie, I think you'll enjoy this one because it's got enough nods to it, and I think you'll enjoy it as long as you're not being overly weird and precious about Silent Night, Deadly Night. There are some people who I know of who are like overly precious about original movie, and then they won't even give the new remake a chance um over something. They'll just poo-poo it, even though it's a decent movie. So
Like the
I'm just saying,
Exorcist movie.
hey, let's not get into that now. Anyway, so but I think you would enjoy it. I think most people who like holiday horror would enjoy this movie. So,
I will
uh,
also say if anybody has that kind of I need to watch it to make sure I get all the references, I would say that the only things that you guys would need to watch
is the
is
first one.
the first movie and the Garbage Day clip
Yeah.
online. And that would be the only things that you would need to
Or
watch to be
just
able
watch the
to.
second movie because the second movie has so much of the
True.
first
Yeah.
movie in it.
Yeah, if you watch the second movie, you're golden.
Yeah.
Then you've got all the information
You
you
get
need.
all the references. So,
Oh man,
all
Silent
right.
Night, Deadly Night 2. We love you.
No, we don't. All right. Why don't you let people know where they can find you online, Katrina? Why don't you go ahead and start first, if you
Uh,
want people to follow you online. If not,
you can find me places. I don't I don't really use social media like that anymore. So like,
no, we've all kind of just abandoned it lately. I barely use it anymore. So,
but if you want to find me, DM my dad, and then
yeah.
I'll tell him.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll leave whatever social media links are in the show notes for you guys. Um,
Oh, you're not gonna ask me where they can find
well,
me?
I sure that if you want to know, but you shook your head like you were the same that you didn't care for
Well,
social
I was
media
just
that
gonna
much.
tell them that they can find me right here on Creepy and Geeky next holiday
Once
season.
a year. Yeah, once a year.
I'll be on more often than that because I live with this dude. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless this guy who runs this podcast starts doing stuff on like Prometheus and Covenant and Alien and stuff like that.
No alien stuff this next year. I've already plotted out my
See,
my
I
whole
mean,
year.
blame him. If you guys like me, you guys got to get in the comments. You guys got to get in the comments. You got to tell this man to get me on to the podcast.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll do some alien stuff maybe not
2 years
probably
from
not
now.
next year, but like maybe the year after. So
All right,
I've
fair
got
enough.
got
Fair enough.
all of next year plotted out. So, but doing a for those who are want a little sneak preview. I'm doing John Carpenter's movies next year through what four different months throughout the year. So I'll be doing that. So. All right. Well, that said, thank you guys for coming on again for another holiday horror episode. And hopefully I'll get you guys both on for different episodes
Well, if you're
before
doing
that
Carpenter, you're
for
not
next
going to
year.
bring me back for like The Thing or
Well, we'll
Mouth of
see.
Madness.
Why
We'll
didn't you
see.
say this before Dad tried to end the podcast again?
Well, because he was going to end the podcast, and I was like, no, 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 no. You can't say that you're going to
We
do
should have
John
brought it up
Carpenter
like a
and then you're going to
minute ago
skip
when he
two
mentioned
of
it. I
my
saw that you
favorite
wanted to, and then you
cosmic
let him
horror
keep
movies.
talking.
You haven't even seen, have you even watched Prince of Darkness yet? The other one of his Apocalypse trilogy?
I have not watched Prince of Darkness, but I have watched Mouth
Okay.
of Madness and The Thing.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it. We'll get you on for one of those probably. So
All
we'll
right.
see. So, all right. Well, thank you guys. Everybody else, we'll see you as a group. We'll see you again next year on the holidays. And until then, stay creepy. Thanks for listening. Creepy and Geeky is produced and hosted by Robert Clark. If you like what you've heard, please consider giving the show 5 stars and a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and share the podcast on social media to help spread the word. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast app or at creepyandgeeky.com. You can follow the podcast by going to creepyandgeeky.com and clicking on any of the social links. If you'd like to follow me, you can find my links at geekthulu.com. You can support the podcast by ordering teas and more on TeePublic or by donating to the coffee page. All of the links are in the show notes. Finally, don't forget, stay creepy.